I'm really stoked to be working with Skillshare again on this video. Thanks to Skillshare, the first 250 people to click the link in the description will get their first 2 months for free. On Neil Young's 19th birthday, he penned a song about a milestone in his life, Sugar Mountain. It's a powerful song, a lament for the loss of youth and the impending responsibilities of adulthood. It's simultaneously beautiful and heartbreaking. But upon hearing it, one of Neil Young's friends decided there was something missing from the story. And so Joni Mitchell wrote a response, The Circle Game, another stunning song about time and aging. Let's take a closer look at these two songs and how each of them takes on the inevitable crossing of a threshold in life. Neil Young's take on youth is simple but beautiful. In Sugar Mountain, he paints youth as a carnival, conjuring images of bright colors and sweet tastes. However, his image of Sugar Mountain has one heartbreaking catch. You have to leave when you turn 20.
Oh, to live on Sugar Mountain with the barkers and the colored balloons. You can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain.
The first verse sets up the carnival, while the next three depict the progression towards adulthood.
It's so noisy at the fair, but all your friends are there. And the candy floss you had, and your mother and your dad.
In the second verse, Young sings of the sparkings of young love, the early signs that you're shifting from childhood to adulthood.
There's a girl just down the aisle, oh, to turn and see her smile. You can hear the words she wrote as you read a hidden note.
Then we get to the third verse. This is one that Neil Young actually wasn't very fond of. As the legend goes, he wrote 126 verses to the song and whittled that down to 4. He claimed that he chose this because it was the worst of all of them. He said he put it in the song as a frame of reference for the mistakes you can make in life. This goes alongside with the content of the verse too. The singer is aging upwards, starting to leave Sugar Mountain, and he's making his first mistakes, smoking his first cigarette, and beginning to antagonize those around him.
Now you're underneath the stairs, and you're giving back some glares to the people who you met, and it's your first cigarette.
By the fourth verse, the singer is leaving home, heading out alone as an adult in the world. Young sings that he's wanted this, but notes that when it's actually happening, it feels different than he would expect.
Now you say you're leaving home, 'cause you want to be alone. Ain't it funny how you feel when you're finding out it's real?
Sugar Mountain is simple but perfectly executed, a wash of melancholy that feels like the pain of becoming an adult. However, the image it paints is also really dark. At a 1970 concert, Joni Mitchell explained her reaction upon hearing Young's song for the first time in 1965. I thought, God, if we get to 21 and there's nothing after that, that's a pretty bleak future. So I wrote a song for him, and for myself, just to give me some hope. That song is The Circle Game, and in my mind it still stands as one of the most brilliant songs of Mitchell's career. Much like Sugar Mountain, The Circle Game starts out with an idyllic vision of youth.
Yesterday, a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar.
When we hit the chorus of the song, Mitchell responds to Young's images of a carnival by putting forth the metaphor of a merry-go-round.
And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time.
This carousel reflects the inevitable nature of time. As Mitchell says, we're captive on it. The carousel is always pushing forwards in circles, and we can't do anything about it. Much like Sugar Mountain, the Circle Game tracks the growth of a youth throughout the song. The second verse moves from a young innocent child towards the cusp of adolescence.
Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams.
In the next verse, we get teenagehood.
16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town.
This verse is particularly reflective of Young's song, with Mitchell talking about how teenagers want to grow up, but adults know better and want teens to cling to their youth as long as they can.
And they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet too slow, the circles down.
Then we get to the crux of the song, the age of 20. So far, the song has felt pretty similar to Sugar Mountain. Both paint beautiful pictures of youth and the growth into adulthood, intercut with a chorus that drives home the inevitability of age and the passage of time. When Mitchell hits 20, however, her reaction is different than Young's.
So the years spin by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur, coming true.
She admits that yes, some of the childhood dreams haven't come to fruition in the way she imagined, but she also looks optimistically to the future. She looks at the bright memories she has just sung of and realizes that there's going to be more memories made with each ride around the carousel.
There'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams, and plenty before the last revolving year is through.
This verse reframes the chorus. Yes, the chorus is still singing about an inevitability, but it's a more complex motion now. It's not just a lament for the endless ride forward through the cycles of time. Instead, it's a recognition of the nature of the world and an attempt to find beauty in that nature.
We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game.
When you're on the carousel, you can't go back, but you can always look back on where you've been. You can enjoy the memories that you've had and use them to inform your own experience and to enjoy the ride that much more. I think that the image of the carousel is important here too. It's an image of youth and beauty, a simple metaphor for life. If you keep this purity of youth with you as you move through life, you're not going to lose the joy and innocence of youth. If you look at life as a carousel, as a circle game, suddenly aging doesn't feel as important. It's just part of the ride, and it's what makes the ride fun. In order to enjoy the carousel, you need to let it go round and round. Without the forward motion, without the repeating cycle, the carousel isn't a ride. Without the passage of time, life isn't life. And so, while I think that Sugar Mountain captures what it feels like to age, I think we should keep this circle game in mind as the seasons pass us. We should look back at where we came, but at the same time, we shouldn't be afraid of riding the carousel of life and of playing the circle game. I genuinely believe that you're never too old to learn something new, and that's why I'm really happy to be working with Skillshare again on this video. Thanks to Skillshare, the first 250 people to click the link in the description will get their first 2 months free. Whether you want to learn how to start your own business, take up a new hobby, or just broaden your horizons, Skillshare are there for you. I get a lot of people asking what I use to make these videos, and I make them on Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a powerful technology but a complicated one. And if you want to learn how to use it, Skillshare has great courses like Adobe Premiere Pro for beginners. Or maybe video isn't your cup of tea, but you've always wanted to make better music. If that's the case, you should try out Learn How to Mix Music with Grammy-nominated audio engineer Young Guru. Besides that, there's nearly 20,000 more courses on a whole range of topics. Premium membership begins around $10 a month, but for the first 250 people to sign up with the link in the description, you get 2 months for free. These spots can go fast, so make sure you get in there and get the tools you need to turn your dream job into a reality.